Vibrant Ladies in the Waiting Room with Christy.
Hi, I'm Christy Eman, the host of Vibrant Ladies in the Waiting Room with Christy. You are most welcome. And how are you doing today? I believe you had a very fabulous week. Today's topic is titled Commanding the Attention of Your World. And of course, I have a guest in the house who is ready to do justice to this topic. It's a pleasure to have you here.
It's a pleasure. Pleasure is mine. Thank you.
You're most welcome.
Thank you.
Can we meet you?
Okay, so I am Tessy Maduka, or rather Chika Theresa Maduka is my full name. I'm a biomedical scientist and also a Toastmaster, a wordsmith. I'm someone who likes to use my voice. I also like to write, so I use that to lift and inspire people. I also live by the mantra of an American baseball player, Babe Ruth, who says that do not let the fear of striking out keep you from playing the game. What that simply means that do not let fear keep you from achieving your dreams. So thank you so much for having me.
Thanks so kindly for that introduction of your profile. Today's topic is a very interesting one. When people hear the word commanding the attention of your world, some people are like, is it really easy to command the attention of your world? Oh yeah, it's easy. I don't want to answer it. So you are here to do that for us. So what comes to your mind when you hear that word, commanding the attention of your world?
Okay, thank you very much for that question. Commanding the attention of your world. First of all, I would like to say that our worlds are unique to us. You know, it's shaped by our experiences, by our priorities, by our values. So our worlds are unique to us. And commanding the attention of your world is simply being able to attract the attention and the interest of the people around you, family, friends, colleagues, and even the community at large. And to be able to do that, it involves effective communication, being able to communicate effectively. I mean, there's a quote by, I think, the 38th president of the US, that was Gerald Ford, who said that nothing is more important in life than the ability to be able to communicate effectively. So when you're able to communicate effectively, I think almost 80% of your challenges is almost solved. So when you're able to communicate effectively, you're able to command the attention of your world. Another thing is being authentic, being passionate about who you are, being you.
Okay, now you are telling us
Okay.
the how. Because I was going to ask you the how.
Okay.
How
okay.
do we get it done?
Okay, so that's what I'm saying.
All
so
right.
you have to be you. You have to be authentic. You know, in a world that is begging a lot of people to be somebody else, we're in a world where everybody wants to be somebody else. It's not really a bad thing to have a mentor that you look up to. But another thing is trying to change who you are just because you want to be somebody else. You can learn things from people without really changing who you are. And how can you command the attention of your world when you have taken away your originality? So being yourself, being passionate about who you are, knowing who you are, will also help you command the attention of your world. Another thing is building presence and reputation. Who are you? I mean, when people see you, who are you? Are you somebody who is not a person of integrity? Are you someone who, when you're being mentioned in a room, it doesn't bring so much good, well, let's say good talks? So your reputation, who you are, really matters in commanding the attention of your world. Thank you.
Thank you so much for that.
Yeah.
Now, of course, commanding the attention of your world has got some advantages.
Yes.
So can you tell us about what you stand to gain when you are able to command the attention of your world?
Okay, thank you for that question. When you're being able, the advantages you gain from commanding the attention of your world, I would say that it will unlock potential. It will unlock your potential. Just imagine you're somebody who is a public speaker and you are able to command the attention of the people that are in your world. Of course, you're going to grow. There will be room for growth. And another thing is that you're going to be able to inspire people. You're going to be able to impact the lives of people. Those are one of the advantages. Another thing is there'll be more opportunities for you. because, I'm using the same example of being a public speaker. The advantage is that there'll be more recommendations. When they talk about you, they say, "Oh, the person is quite good at what the person does." So of course there'll be more opportunities for you to grow and to be better.
Wow, that's really interesting.
Yes.
But there's something I want to point out here.
Okay.
The other time when you were talking about commanding the attention of your world,
Yes.
I remember you made mention of being yourself, being your real self.
Yes.
Because a lot of people now, you stand to gain these advantages if you are able to command your world. But how can you command your world when you are trying to be like someone else?
Exactly.
We're in a time where people want to be like others. They want to be the photocopy.
Exactly.
They don't want to be the original copy.
Yeah.
And original will always be original.
Exactly.
So for us to be able to attain this, I think we need to be we. The viewers, you need to be you.
Be yourself.
We'll be talking so much about being yourself, being your real self. Don't be a fake person.
No.
How can you be a fake person? When you are trying to be like someone else, you begin to struggle because you are stepping out of lane. You are not wired to be like somebody else. So it's
Very
key to remain oneself.
Exactly.
Now, talking about customers
Okay.
and entrepreneurs.
Okay.
For example, if you produce goods or you sell products, services, and anything, and you have some competitors who also do the same thing. Now, you will wonder why some customers are always going to maybe a particular producer,
Okay.
while others too are producing the same thing, they sell the same thing, but not many people patronize them. Now, I'm sure it's got to do with commanding the attention of the world in this context.
Okay.
Now, what can you tell us about that? What is the secret why there are a lot of competitors doing the same thing, but you find a lot of people moving towards patronizing a particular person? Now, what has this person got that other people don't have?
Interesting. I would say that that's like commanding the attention of the world of your business, or commanding the attention of customers to your business. Yes, I would say that for me, I'm a biomedical scientist, like I said earlier. So I work in a hospital where we attend to patients who come for care and maybe for medical checkup. And one thing that stands out, of course, a lot of hospitals. So for the fact that they come to you, there might be something you're doing better than the others. Now, I would say for me, I work in the lab, and there's this feedback when a patient comes into the lab, and you're done taking care of this patient, and the patient looks at you and smiles and says, "Thank you very much." Sometimes the patient will ask, "What is your name?" Of course, the services has been, will I say, exceptional for that person, because you did it with care, you did it in a very professional manner. So another thing I would say
And with
is
a touch of excellence.
the touch of excellence. So if this patient is, or the person or the customer is having a memorable experience with you, of course the person is going to come back. There's some places you go to buy goods, and the mannerism in which you approached, sometimes you buy what you want to buy because you need that product, but you might tell yourself that you are never going to come back there. So if you have a good customer experience when you get to a place, of course. So another thing that helps for business owners and people who provide services is, I keep talking about communication because it's very, very important. As a business owner, you might be able to communicate effectively, but what about the people who are working with you? So you also need to train them to be able to push along your goals and your mission for that establishment, because there are some establishments that have gone down the drain because of the kind of people they have employed. So while you are improving yourself, your staff also needs to be improved. You have to teach them what it is to communicate, listen to the complaints of the people, of your customers, and work appropriately to resolve their complaints. And that thing is, what is your brand like?
Wow.
What's your brand like? Are you saying one thing but you're delivering another thing? So you have to your what you're saying has to go in line with what you're delivering. Because like today, today's world, where you have a lot of online businesses that you say, okay, you're showing us that you're selling this, and when I order, I'm getting something different. That's why you see on social media what you ordered versus what you got. It's almost the order of the day now. You order for something, you're seeing something else. That's not the trait of commanding your word in your business. So you have to, your words and your actions have to align to be able to command your word in your business. Thank you.
Wow, that's interesting. Thank you so much for that.
You're welcome.
Now, let's talk about commanding the attention of the ideal man to you as a lady.
Interesting.
Is I believe it's not just about being motivated by physical attraction.
Okay.
It goes beyond that, really.
Okay.
That is key too.
Yes.
Now, for a guy, a gentle man who wants to propose to a lady, definitely there are things that must have gotten his attention. Besides the look, right? So I want us to talk about that. And so also, even as a married man, you see, some ladies, some women, once they are married, they just feel that, well, I'm married, so I don't need to stress myself any longer. But I don't think that should be. Because the man who got attracted to you, definitely he wants to continually see what got him attracted. So can you tell us about consistently commanding the attention of that man who got married to you, and even as a lady, a single lady, what are those things that?
This is an interesting question, but it's like me speaking on behalf of the men. But it's a valid question because I believe it's both sides. What is good for the goose is good for the gander.
Exactly.
So I would say that in as much as looks is also very important because I mean I'll give an example of if you're going to eat a food that you've not eaten before. What to get you attracted to even try it out is how that food looks like. Yes. So sometimes some food might look really, I use the word irritating, that you can't even you don't want to even try it out. So yes, looks is very important. But now you're asking me, aside from looks, what other thing can attract the ideal man? I'll say emotional intelligence. Emotional intelligence is something we really lack in our world today. Being able, and that entails being able to be self-aware of who you are, being able to be empathetic, knowing the right words to use at the right time, the right body language, the right gesture. Because sometimes we might be saying one thing, our body language is saying another, and people are watching you. Aside what you're saying, people are watching how you are interacting with them. Another thing is being kind. In a world today where everybody is selfish, struggling for what will benefit them, kindness goes far. Especially in Nigeria, in Lagos, you keep seeing all these short quotes that will say, be kind to people, be kind to people. You don't know what people are going through. Be kind to people. So imagine being that kind of person and somebody notices you and sees that it's something you're consistent with. Of course, the person is going to be attracted to you. Then just being able to respect people, not necessarily because this person is of this particular class, so I should give this person this respect. When somebody notices that you're somebody who respects everybody, even gives the child's deserved respect, I think you're going to be attractive. Then I'm not married, so I cannot say for those who are married and how to keep their man, but I think it still cuts across. If you're consistent in showing these virtues that brought the attraction in the first place, if you're consistent in doing those things, I think the man will continue to be attracted. And of course, being also leveling up. Another thing is confidence. So still talking about being able to attract the ideal man in your world is another thing is knowing people's love languages. Because I think there is a book by, is that Gary Chapman, if I can remember, when he wrote about the 5 love languages, and that includes physical touch, gifts, words of affirmation. What other one again? So the essence is that people who are different in the way they receive love from people. So you have to, giving you my kind of love might not really be acceptable by you.
Exactly.
Yeah. So if you, the way I can get to you
Like
is giving you gifts. So giving you words of affirmation might not really matter to you. So I have to really understand what your love language is and work accordingly and keep improving myself. All right. So I met you today does not mean that I'll just sit down and relax and just be who I was. I just need to keep improving, keep getting to know you better, and just keep being a good person. In quotes.
Wow.
Thank you.
And all this thing also apply to the married women.
Of course. It's both ways, the man and the woman.
Thank you most graciously. Now, I want us to talk to female leaders. There are people that when they walk into a place, into a room, into a hall, some people will even say they feel these goosebumps, something just happened, we just pay attention and stuff like that.
Yeah.
Now, can you give us the strategies that will help them, female leaders, master the art of commanding the room?
Okay. So first of all, I would say dress the part. I think there's a saying that goes, you will be addressed the way you are dressed. You're going for a leadership forum, per se. You cannot dress like somebody who's going to a beach party. So you have to dress the part. You have to look the part. You have to speak the part. You have to act the part. Another thing is knowing your onions. When you know what you're going to present, who you are, what you're going to showcase, that would also help you to command the room. Another thing is looking at yourself like an equal, especially female leaders who are in male-dominated establishments. Most of the time, some females tend to look down on themselves because they feel like, oh, the men are taking, or the men are the men. I'm not up to because that's a man and I'm a woman. I know our African mentality has always kept women down in some ways. So I would say for the fact that you are in that room, you've been invited to that room, or you've been given that job in that male-dominated establishment, I would say, don't downgrade yourself, right? You are an equal to that person. I'm not trying to bring any of this feminists talk here, but I'm saying you are working in the place. You're giving the same output just like the men are giving. So don't bring yourself down. Look at yourself like an equal, and do the task that you've been asked to do. Right. Another thing again is still communication. It still boils down to communication.
Yeah.
If you look at
healthy self-esteem.
Good. And if you go to a place like in a workplace and somebody stands up to speak, and the person speaks in a way that clearly, assertively, speak with purpose, bring ideas, say it in a way that people understand, you're automatically going to command the attention of that room. So female leaders can take that cue in wherever they find themselves in life.
Interesting. So, what are those challenges that will help female overcome imposter syndrome and also develop a growth mindset?
This topic of imposter syndrome is a topic I really like because I'm somebody who has struggled with that growing up. First of all, what is imposter syndrome? It's just not believing in yourself. It's just feeling that you're not up to par. Even when you have those capabilities, you just feel like you're not able to do them. Sometimes people tell you that, oh, you did this, you're good at this. You still see yourself as not. You still feel like I think those people are deceiving you. Like, stop whining me. That's not the truth. But meanwhile, they're seeing those things and they're telling it to you, but you're not taking it because you don't even believe in what you can do. That is imposter syndrome. So I would say you talked about being able to overcome imposter syndrome and have a growth mindset. Yeah. So I would say first of all, believe in yourself. Exude belief in yourself. People would respect you or but take you just as you take yourself. If you don't respect yourself, if you don't look at yourself as somebody who is able to do some things, people also look at you that way. So you have to believe in yourself that you're able to do these things. Another thing is to probably consider why you are having those feelings. Why are you having feelings of imposter syndrome? Why are you feeling like you're not up to? Even when people have told you times without number that you're capable of doing these things. Maybe you should check it. Maybe you are suffering from childhood traumas,
Exactly.
maybe experiences that you've been through. You have to be able to heal. First of all, being able to heal is being aware that those things are there. Those problems are there. Like someone like me, I put myself out there because there's a club I joined called Toastmasters International. And that club helps to improve your communication skills, your public speaking skills, your leadership skills. And I discovered that club because I told myself I needed to help myself. I can't keep being in this space where I'm always feeling like I'm not capable of doing the thing that people have told me times and number that I can do. So eventually I joined, and I might not be where I want to be, but I'm so far away from where I used to be. So another thing is just being aware and finding solutions where solutions need to be taken, and bury yourself in being a better version of yourself.
Oh yeah, I like that. Yeah, I like that. Now, let me just talk to viewers before we go ahead. Hello, viewers out there. I want to talk about believing in yourself, like our speaker earlier on told us. It's very important to believe in yourself. If nobody believes in you, you know what? You need only 2 people to believe in you. And who are those 2 people you need? Number 1, you need you to believe in you.
Definitely.
And you need God. Once you believe in yourself and you know that God believes in you, please go ahead. You see, the problem is that so many people are waiting for people to believe in them. They are waiting for words of affirmation
From outside.
validation.
Exactly.
Do you understand? But all these things does not really matter. But
It starts with you.
exactly.
It starts with you.
Exactly. Thank God for that. And so, talking about women now, what are some strategies for women to overcome? Okay, we've talked about imposter syndrome.
Yes, we just
Now, how can women use their voices and platform to advocate for social justice and create positive change? Because the voice of a woman is very powerful.
Very powerful indeed. Well, I would say using your voice is something that you can do. If you're somebody who, like what we're doing right here, using your voice to advocate for women, like you said, can bring about positive change.
Yes.
And also, if you have platforms, if your social media handles are very active, that's a platform you can use. And also, maybe you're somebody at your workplace that people come to you all the time for one thing or another. That's also a platform. It's not necessarily that you have to have a big platform to be able to lend your voice. You can lend your voice any place, anytime, anywhere. Sometimes in the face of injustice, you might see something happening, you can speak up. That's you lending your voice at that point in time. All right? So it mustn't be a very big platform before you do something. I think another thing is being able to, first of all, you also have to be knowledgeable, because you cannot give what you don't have. You have to be knowledgeable. Sometimes we just come out and say things based on hearsay, based on what we've heard. But when you're knowledgeable about certain things, you can say them with facts and actually cause a change. All right. Another thing is being able to, how do I put it now? Being able to listen to what is going on around you, right, and amplify it. Listen and amplify it. Sometimes we hear about maybe there's a trending, will I say trending event. You can amplify on that. You can use that as a topic for discussion. Sometimes when I hear maybe a lady was just raped recently, or something just happened, and you can use that. You can throw more light on that, enlighten people more about it. That will help people to know more, and that will also cause for positive change. So another thing I just like to say is don't wait till you have a very big platform. Start from where you are. Start small. So always lend your voice when and where necessary. And I'm sure that you'll be able to, the ripple effect of that small lending of your voice will eventually create a ripple effect to something really big.
Amazing. So, can you give us your last word?
Okay.
Yes, Abby.
All right. It's been such a pleasure being here. And I would say, in relation to the theme of commanding the attention of your world, if you really listened throughout this session, I talked about communication. Because communication, effective communication, because there's always an illusion that communication has happened. Communication is both ways. When you speak, the other person understands what you're saying and runs along with it. You have communicated. But when you speak and the other person doesn't even understand what you've said, how much more running with it, you have not communicated. So communication for me is very important. If you can get communication right, 80% of your challenges have been dealt with. And being able to communicate also involves active listening. Great communicators are great listeners. Most of the time, we just want to talk, and we're not listening to actually give a feedback. We're just listening to respond. We're not listening to really understand where that person is coming from. So when you're able to listen attentively and actively and give appropriate feedback, you're able to communicate effectively. And when you're able to communicate effectively, you're able to command the attention of your world. Also, be self-aware, know who you are, and strive every day to be a better version of yourself. Thank you.
Thanks so kindly. And to the viewers out there, thank you so much for staying tuned with us. Of course, you have learned so much. I have no doubt that you have learned a lot about commanding the attention of your world. Remember, be yourself.
Be yourself.
The original. Be kind. Be kind. And be a person of integrity.
Exactly.
And you will never remain the same.
No.
I tell you, you can do better. You will get there. Believe in yourself. If no one believes in you, believe in yourself. Thank you so much for coming on this program.
Thank you so
It's
much.
a pleasure to have you. You have really imparted us.
I would like to be here again.
All
Thank
right.
you so
We
much.
look forward to seeing you again.
Thank you so much for
Very
having
soon.
me.
Thank
Thank you.
God bless
You too.
you. Yeah. Bye-bye.
Bye.
For counseling, price, and sponsorship, contact 0803 112 2669 and 0809 424 2503.